Welcome back to the Farm2Table Show. Today we are talking about how to identify a great farmer's market. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome in. Glad to see you all on this Monday morning. Uh, things are going well here in western Arkansas. It looks like the rains have subsided. We've got a day of sunshine ahead. But a good morning and welcome in, especially to my morning crew. Hope everyone's day is off to a great start. Hope you all had a great weekend. Good morning, Scotty. Glad to see you in, buddy. Hope you all had a great weekend. We're winding ours down. The wife and I took a 3 day weekend before while the schedule was a little light. Was able to spend the weekend together. Got some things done in the house. But anyway, we're going to talk today, as I said, about how to identify a great farmer's market. But we'll get to that here in just a few minutes. Good morning, Joy Bartlett. Glad to see you. Uh, let's say there's Tracy and Tim are in the kitchen. Good morning. And good morning, Roy. Glad to see you guys in. All right, everybody's jumping in. Everybody's getting in here. We're going to go ahead and head on over to Dyer. Hey, there's Robbie. Good morning. I hope you're live. Anyway, we're going to head on over to the Dyer Family Farm for the Redneck Weather Report.
Good morning, Rednecks. It is 34 degrees today, April the 7th, 2025. We got a 5 mile an hour north-northwest wind, making it feel like it's 30 degrees. We're going to get to 64 today. God bless y'all. We'll see you again tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Jack. All right. Everybody's in and getting their good mornings going back and forth. Uh, yeah, it was nice to take the weekend off. We took Friday and Saturday, Sunday. Got a lot of progress made. Got countertops ordered for the new kitchen. Countertops, long wait time with the lead time on it's pretty rough, but we'll make do. Got in and got the sink plumbed in, and got the water lines ran and hooked up for the dishwasher and refrigerator. Uh, Put some makeshift countertops. Was actually able to do dishes in the kitchen for the first time in a quite some time. So things are starting to come together. Stoves in, so we're just plugging along on that project. But one of these days, I'll get to tell y'all it's done, and we can move on to a different part of the house. But anyway, we're going to move right along on the show this morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I really do. And looking forward to a great weekend this weekend coming up. The rain has subsided, as I said here. It's cold, um, but they had a freeze warning, but it never got that low. It's like 39 degrees. But anyway, looking forward to this weekend as we head up to New Beginnings Homestead Expo, and I'll tell y'all more about that here in just a little bit. But anyway, let's get right into homestead hacks. We're going to talk right. Here is a homestead hack for a DIY chicken waterer. Uh, Now, if anybody's ever done this, again, let me know in the chat or leave it in the comment or whatever. But anyway, this is a no spill 5 gallon bucket waterer. Now, this is pretty interesting to me because one of the worst things I am about is remembering water. So we'll see. And yes, good morning, Jake, BF2. Glad to see you in. Uh, Turn a 5 gallon bucket into an easy, low maintenance chicken waterer. Now, this is how it works. You drill 3 or 4 small, quarter-inch, little bitty tiny, around the base of the bucket, about an inch from the bottom. Place the bucket inside a shallow pan or a plant saucer. Okay. Fill the bucket with water and quickly put the lid on. This creates a vacuum seal that slowly releases water as needed. Now, why is this great? One, it prevents spills and keeps water clean, holds more water so you refill less often, and that's where I'm at right there. I like that automation or maintenance, less water time in, that kind of thing. It's cheap and easy, DIY, only requires a bucket and a pan. Okay, and if you're like me, good morning, Rebecca Touch by Yarn. Glad to see you in this morning. Um, if you're like me, you try to do things. I heard this the other day, and it really kind of struck with me. Is start everything with zero in mind, $0. Uh, when you're trying to rebuild or you're going to make a project. And that's how close to zero can you get? Recycling, reusing, repurposing materials. And that speaks my language right there. I hate having to go spend money when I might have it set somewhere. And that's also probably why I have a pile up on my hill and I don't hardly ever throw things away, much to my wife's dismay. But anyway, now here's the other thing. It works year round. It can be placed on a heated base in the wintertime. Be a little careful about that when, with plastic buckets, depending on the heat and everything. But, again, it's easy to keep defrosted. So there it is, a nice homestead hack for a no-spill 5-gallon bucket water. Now, those chickens, they need their water, and also their other animals. So there you go. Anyway, so I hope that's a helpful tip. And again, if anybody's ever used that or something similar, let us know about it. But let's get right on into this morning's topic of the day, if you will. And today we're diving into a topic that every food lover, health seeker, and homesteader at heart should care about: how to identify a great farmer's market. Now, there's farmers markets popping up all over the place, and that's a good thing. I'm glad to see it, but not all farmers markets are created equal. Some are gold mines of local goodness, vibrant, authentic, bursting with fresh produce and a community spirit. Others, well, let's just say that they're more craft fare with a side of tomatoes, you might say. So today we're going to break it down: how to spot the difference between a good farmer's market and a great one. All right. Thank you, Joy, for letting them. You've seen that done. That's good. Glad somebody has seen that hack. I know what you're talking about. Whether you're a seasoned market goer or a newbie with a reusable bag and a dream, this is the episode for you, folks. We're kicking it off right on this Monday morning. First things first, the heartbeat of a great market is the people. All right, absolutely, and that's the heartbeat of everything that is good and great. Is the people involved, and whether that's expos or anything else that we're talking about. Great farmers market starts with authentic local farmers, not resellers, not bulk produce from a truck with California license plates. No offense, California, but local growers. Now, if you're in California, obviously local growers, but still, you don't want to see a big bulk truck from a company. And I know what they're saying there. You want to meet folks who've got soil under their nails and stories about that weird spring frost that nearly wiped out the squash. Let's see. I'm going to pause right there. Yep. I'm going to have to get back on that. Well, y'all can see that up in the chat there. That's why I put it up there. Well, there you go. Put the small cups on it. They broke, so I have to quit using them. Well, interesting. All right, I'm going to get back on track here with my thoughts. That Robbie's always good at coming in with something he's tried and used. And anyway, it's worth trying. Anyway, here's the thing: when you get to those farmers markets, ask questions. A great market encourages that. Where was this grown? How do you keep pests off your crops? What's the best way to cook this odd-looking root vegetable I've never seen before? And we've all seen that odd-looking vegetable, okay? If the vendor lights up and says, "Oh man, let me tell you about it," you're in the right place. Okay. Now, moving past that, variety is the spice of a market life. Diversity, not just in the people, but in the products. A great farmer's market has more than tomatoes and cucumbers. Look for pastured eggs, raw honey, handcrafted cheese, locally raised meats, herbal remedies, fermented foods. Shout out to all y'all kombucha and sauerkraut people out there. Uh, and Anyway, I want to get back to that company. You're looking for a place where the whole pantry could come from the market, not just the salad. Now, Roy, I want to stop and hit that. Our market started April 5th, and the tomatoes were, those definitely probably. I mean, unless those were aquaponic tomatoes. I mean, unless they grew them in an aquaponics where you can grow year round, they probably weren't grown very locally. One could agree with that. I will agree. Yes. Ours is set to start. Did they say end of April 1st? Sometime in May. I remember it's in May. I seen the little Facebook notification the other day. And that's what I'm saying is getting out ahead of this. There's things that are going to come in and be available. But generally speaking, most people have just recently gotten things in the ground and going, or maybe doing it right now. Or if you're like me, you got it there. You just got to get out to it. That rain kind of slowed part of my plans for this weekend. But now listen, bonus points if there's fresh bread, okay, on these one of these markets, or artisan soap, and of course a 12-year-old selling zucchini muffins with their grandma. That's always cool when the kids are involved. You're looking for a place, like I said, where the whole pantry could come from the market, not just the salad. Also, the vibe check. Let's talk about atmosphere. The best farmers market feels like a weekly celebration. Maybe there's music, kids running around, people chatting about recipes. It's not just transactional, it's relational. Do the vendors know their regulars? Is there a buzz in the air? A sense that this is where the community gathers? That's when you know you have truly struck gold. And let's not forget, is it clean? Does it feel safe? Are the booths spaced well? A well organized market shows the organizers care about the vendors and the customers. Now, I think we've all been to those places that you're piled on top of each other and it's just a mess, or maybe it's in a not so great place. But anyway, so that's another thing to look for. It's just kind of how's the whole setup. Um, Now, listen, number here. This one's very important: transparency and trust. One of the hallmarks of a great market is transparency. Labels should mean something. If someone claims organic, ask if they're certified. If not, are they using organic practices anyway? Many small farms skip certification due to cost, but still follow strict regenerative methods. Okay? Ask them about GMO policies. Ask how their animals are raised. A great farmer won't take offense. They'll welcome your curiosity. Because here's the deal: at a great farmer's market, there's nothing to hide. Everybody's sharing, everybody's talking, and that's what we want. Now, here's moving on. Support local support, supporting local beyond the booth, you might say. I guess it's a good way to put that. All right. A truly great farmer's market doesn't just sell food, it builds local economy. I've been to places and drove past places where it was like a whole neighborhood, like a whole block, and it was crowded, and it was all part of the hustle and bustle of the downtown or an area. My small one that's here in the town where I'm at, they're by an old schoolhouse. It's kind of up there. It's a small thing, but it's a small town. Good morning, Jack, with Dyer Family Farm. Glad to see you in, buddy. Now you go over into Fort Smith, which is, our other town, Van Buren, tried one for a while. I didn't see it back last year, so I don't know if they're not going to do, if they quit doing it or what. But over in Fort Smith, the really big town we're next to, they have one downtown, and it's in the downtown district. Takes up a big, huge parking lot area. It's very well organized. The people who are behind it are on top with the local regulations. They want people that are going to commit to the whole season. It's a very well put together, and you have such a variety of foods, and it's a really well done farmers market, and it is super busy there every Saturday when that's going on. It is busy; people are in and out, and it's just known as a really good farmers market down there. And the small town ones are great for that small town vibe and people who don't want to necessarily go into the city. They don't want to drive into town, and it's good for each little town to have that. And you get to meet local people. And so that's it. Now, back on track to supporting the local economy. Does the market collaborate with local nonprofits, schools, or food banks? Are there workshops, cooking demos, or educational events? Now we're really getting fancy, right? Do they have a double SNAP program so lower income families can access fresh food? Now, see, that was a thought that I'll have to admit when I read that, I was like, ooh, hadn't thought about that. But that is where a market becomes more than a market, it becomes a movement. When you support a great farmers market, you're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding the whole community. Now, I'm curious about the one in Fort Smith, if it's tied up big enough and if it's got things set up to where they can accept those things. But that's becoming more and more common, especially with the farm stores and farm hubs and things like that, is getting access and getting on the program where the SNAP programs can be used for those that are needing that. And I think it's important because, again, you're providing quality food instead of the junk that they can get elsewhere. Now, let's get into some red flags to watch for. Let's flip the coin. What are some signs you might not be at a great market? I think we've all been to at least one somewhere. And this applies kind of somewhat to uh, That's something, Jack. Actually, before we go to this next section, I hadn't thought about that. That's maybe we should look at the SNAP program for the rendezvous. Maybe that's not a bad idea. Might have to plug that over into Chris's ear and kind of see if that's something that they're able to get set up between now and September. That would be a good deal for the vendors there, to be able to get that set up some way. Uh, Definitely might bring some people in. I know their farmers market was going on downtown last year when we were there. I'm assuming it'll still be going this year, but that would still be a good idea. Uh, uh, There we go. Now, see, I like that. That's ingenuity right there. I'm gonna take some time out to do these comments. Farmers Market where I go, they convert my EBT card to tokens so I can shop there. Now, see, that's smart. I like that. That is somebody who has. That's an organization that has thought well into advance. They figured out that they have customers, and that allows that transaction to take place, and that is just flat out cool. So there's a sign of a really good market. They're tied into things and they're helping their people. Rebecca, it sounds like you've touched into a really good farmers market out there. Now, like I said, let's go ahead and flip the coin to some signs that we might not be at a great market. Number one, and this applies to expos and events and things like this as well. Too many resellers. Uh, what I'm saying? It can be too crowded. And when I say that, too many people, overloading in a small area. Now, in crafts and vendor fair, or even like even expos, too many people doing the same thing. It's not good for anybody. Okay. But now, you want a bunch of people and you're going to have crossovers, people selling the same things. And okay, Jack says our local farm hub store does the same thing. That is that's ingenuity. That's cool. Um, if half the booths are filled with produce that looks suspiciously uniform and stickered, you might want to ask some questions. Okay. Out of season produce, which is what Roy was just talking about. Out of season produce, strawberries in January, unless you live in Florida, that's probably not local. Okay. And yeah, I'd say, it's a question. Lack of vendor engagement. Now, this is a big one, and I've seen this even, unfortunately, I've seen this even at like expos and stuff like that. If you feel like you're interrupting someone scrolling to ask about their beets, probably want to move on. And no traceability. If you ask, where is this grown, and get a shrug or a vague somewhere around here, probably a big red flag. Uh, I would say in the local small towns, that's probably a bit less likely to happen, but in the bigger market areas, you know, that could be. Now, you can go on the USDA website and you can find a list of all the certified or registered farmers markets around your area, and they have that tool and that resource, and I think that's a good thing to have. But but that's still just some red flags. I mean, if you can tell that it was organized by somebody and they're not involved, uh, okay. See, there's again, their vendors have to be within 50-mile radius to be at this farmers market. That's the thing. Even where the one in Fort Smith, they're pretty. They've got a tight pretty tight package, and also grow their own produce. So yeah, somebody, whoever's organized that, Rebecca, is somebody who's put a lot of thought and a lot of care into it, and they want to have a great market, and they're about local. And that sounds to me like y'all have, where you're at, y'all have got a awesome farmers market there. Uh, so anyway, I see. Uh, and Jack, I can believe this about you, that when you're in the vendor booth, I don't let anyone walk by my booth without me at least trying to talk to them. That's a good thing. I have walked by booths and I hate it. I mean, listen, I don't want somebody to have to stand up all day. I know how hard that concrete is on feet because mine suffer for it too. But you walk by somebody's booth, and even if you stop and you look, and they don't even get out of their chair or acknowledge that you're sitting there, you're standing there, or they're in their phone, or they're just, you know, I don't know, they're not engaged, standoffish. I'm not doing business with them. I don't care what they got, because I'm not, if it's that much of an inconvenience, then you shouldn't be doing it. But I like the friendly people like Jack, who's going to talk to everybody that comes by, or try to anyway. Now, let's get this out of. Let's get into this final section. Wrap this part up. How to get the most out of your visit. Okay. Let me leave you with a few pro tips. Not that I'm much of a pro, but let's leave you with a few tips for getting the most out of your farmers market experience. Okay. Number one, go early for the best selection. Early bird gets the worm, as the old saying goes. Well, they've got more stuff there. They haven't sold anything. You get in there early. When they first open, you got a better selection. Now, go late for the best deals, because later in the day, they're trying to get rid of, and that's where you can barter, or that's where you can haggle a little bit on prices, that type of thing. But be respectful, okay? Don't go in there and offer them a quarter for a $10 item or something. I mean, let's be respectful with that. Bring cash, especially small bills. Okay, that's just a good tip right there. Anyway, when you're going to expos and places like that, or you're going to any type of fair, but even farmers markets, especially, bring cash and bring small bills. Don't be going there 50 and hundreds, even under 20. Honestly, ones and fives is probably your best bet. Okay, so that way you're prepared to do business. Bring your own bags. Bonus points if you got a cooler in the car for the vegetables or the things that are perishable. But yeah, bring your own bags, because again, that's just saving money on that other person. Talk to your farmers. Okay, build those relationships. That's probably my biggest weakness. That's what it takes me forever to get around those places. I want to sit there and come. And if they got a great story, and you know me, I like to talk. So if they got a great story, it's hard for me to move past. Or if they're just really friendly and engaging. Um, Try something new each every week. Something you've never had. This is your moment to experiment. Uh, and try new things. Find out what's out there. There's some people that grow some very interesting things to bring to a market. Things that maybe you've never seen it or you've never had it, but they can even tell you how to prepare it or what you need to do with it. If they grew it and they grow it, they've probably had pretty good experience in prepping it and how to store it. All the things you need to know about that. Now, a great farmers market isn't just a place to shop; it's a place to learn, connect, and grow. Uh, where am I at here? Yes. So that's it for this particular subject. So get ready for your town Saturday morning market, or plan a road trip to find the best one in your state. Now you can know what to look for. Great farmers markets feed more than your body; they feed your soul and your community. And if good morning, David Lacey. And if you got a favorite market or a vendor who's changing the game, send it. Let us know about it. But keep supporting these events. I want to read this. Let's see. Good morning, David Lacey. Glad to have you in this morning, buddy. Hope it's all safe out there. Uh, they're starting a farmers market at the end of this month. Biggest thing I can say is if your local community doesn't have a pre-existing farmers market, start your own. Well, that's it. Be the change you want to see. Get your hands in and get dirty with it. And, you know, I'm just trying to figure out, David, when you'll have time for everything else, uh, with with everything y'all guys got going on. Y'all are busy couple, busy family, but that's awesome that y'all are getting that going. That is that's good news, and take some. Take some time to make some good points there with it, and like I said, that right there, let's see. Oh, and he follows on. Also, starting your own market will help you grow and get to know your community better. Become the person people look for help. That's an important thing right there. Being part of the community, being a valuable and trusted person within the community, and that was one of Keith and I's goals with the channel in the farm to table was direct, but the Farm to Table Show, and we definitely, yes, thank you, Jack. We're praying for your success. Hope it goes well. But that was one of the things that we wanted to be able to um, grow into with it, meeting so many people and getting around and talking to so many people. And beginning to get to know vendors and know growers, producers, people who do things, that when somebody is looking forward to somebody's looking for somebody, or somebody needs something, that they feel like they can call us or reach out to us, and we might know who to help. And that happened. last weekend. And it was gratifying to be able to take care of it. Our good friend Dwayne had he had a personal loss in the family, and was not going to be able to make it to his scheduled event this weekend at New Beginnings Homestead Expo. So he reached out to Keith and I, as well as the organizer of the event, to try to find somebody to fill his place. And we went through a few different options, and checking a list and making us a list of people that we knew that might could, that would, and might could, and went through. And it took us, I think it was, well, let me see, was that Sunday? No, that was Saturday. It took us today. It was late Saturday night. It took us today. Everybody's schedules and short notice and everything, but we were able to fulfill that, and got a replacement speaker, and some shifts and adjustments to the schedule, but was able to have it. And Brian DeShazo with Oki Farm and Feed, or Feed and Farm. I always get it backwards. But anyway, was willing to step up, and he was planning on going anyway, so it wasn't out of his way, and so worked out. But that being able to be that person that people go to when they need to. That's a big part of community, and it was our honor to be able to help out and do that. And but that's just that same thing. You put yourself in a position, you get learn, and be somebody people can depend on, or somebody can call for help. And that's always a good thing, and it felt good to be asked and to be able to deliver on that. But anyway, so that definitely applies to farmers markets and everything else. But anyway, and this might here you go, David. This one might fit right with where you're at. Quote of the day: "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path, and leave a trail." From Ralph Waldo Emerson. I like that. Don't go where the path takes you. Go where there is no path, and leave a trail. There you go. So let's get into our upcoming events and start beginning to wrap up out of this thing for Monday morning. I've been referenced it a few times. New Beginnings Homestead Expo. That is this Saturday, April 12th at Trinity Church in Nowata, Oklahoma. It starts at 10 a.m. and goes to, I think, 4. So it's about a 6-hour long event. Going to be vendors out in the parking lot. Praying for good weather. It's looking promising right now, but praying for good weather. Praying for a good showing. We've got a lot of people that are on the lineup. Myself and Keith are presenting. I will be on the speaker panel at the end of the day. We've got was going to have Dwayne Hall, but he had to bail out. Unfortunately, had a family event. But anyway, going to have let's see, Stuart and Ashley from Klaus from Restoration Farms. Going to have Pharmacy Farm2Table Market. I'll think of her name later. But anyway, she's going to be there, and TNT Homestead is going to be there. There's anyway several others. Go check that out. New Beginnings Homestead Expo. Well, they're on Facebook. I know plenty of you have heard me talking about it, and I know a lot of y'all have things going on that you're not able to. But it's going to be I think it's going to be a good year. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be good event. There's going to be a lot of stuff there to learn. And anyway, we are super excited about that this weekend, this Saturday, at Nowata, Oklahoma. Now, end of the month, the alerts pop in. Hate that. Makes noise. Anyway, the Shindig Ozark Living Expo, April 25th and 26th, Newton County Fair and Rodeo in Jasper, Arkansas. Zach Bauer is going to be speaking both days there, and that's an absolutely free event. They just ask for a donation for parking. So if you're up in the north central, northeast Arkansas, Missouri area, this one ain't too far if you're in that area, and don't already have plans. The Homestead Conference, April 25th and 26th in Waco, Texas. Another huge event lined up there. Their lineup is tremendous. And so if you're in the Central Texas area, that'd be a good one to go. Homesteading and Outdoor Expo, Port St. Lucie, Florida. It's a place called the Barn at Oleander down there. $15 door price, but that's one day, April 26th. The busiest weekend in the homesteading community. First annual River Valley Homestead Conference and Poultry Show, April 25th and 26th, Sebastian County Fairgrounds, Greenwood, Arkansas. Thanks to Robbie with the Wild Huckleberry for getting me a contact. So I'll be reaching out to that person this week and try to get some more details on that. Yeah, you've got your workshop, Jack. That's what I said. You've got something committed, and that's a big deal. And you're gonna be elbow deep in feathers and guts and everything else. So y'all guys will be having a good time out there. But anyway, you know, sometimes those things happen. And listen, you're doing a good thing, teaching people as well as getting your chickens processed. Um, Now, that same weekend of April 25th through the 27th, the 10 Killer YouTube meetup, Lake Tengiller, Oklahoma, Cherokee Landing State Park at the Creek Shelter. You can RSVP to 10 Killer YT meetup at gmail.com for more details on that. There's some stuff coming up later on. I'm going to stop right there for time's sake. But listen, for those of you who may be on the southwest side of Oklahoma or on that side of Oklahoma, and you're not able to make it anywhere else, or you don't have plans, reach out to Dyer Family Farm. I'm sure they'd like to have some more hands out there helping them on a chicken processing workshop. And I have videoed Keith, my brother, going through one of Jack's processing demos, and it's quite thorough. And you get to learn and get your hands on, and get to see what's going on with. And I imagine if Jack's doing a workshop, he's got a lot of chickens to process. So that'll be a good learning event as well if you're out in that part of somewhere that you're within driving distance. Now, Greg and Donna Duncan would not be the people I would look at as what is considered driving distance, because they'll drive everywhere, anywhere at the drop of a hat, it seems like. But if you're available, reach out to Jack and Dyer Family Farm. I bet they'd be glad to have you there. But for those that can make it up into the northeast corner up in north central northeast corner to Nowata, look forward to seeing you all there if you're able to make it. If not, we certainly understand. It's going to be a great event, and we're looking forward to that. So we're going to get on out of here for today. It's Monday. It's the beginning of a week, and sunshine is on the forecast, and I'm hoping everybody gets the same. So that is a wrap for today on the Farm2Table Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us. We strive towards building stronger communities for now and in the future. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit the like button. Give me the old thumbs up. Subscribe to our share it. Subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected, help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you. And remember, we are #stronger together. Be a blessing to someone today. Thank you for everyone in chat and who participated in the chat this morning. Glad to have you all in with me. Again, be a blessing to someone today. We will see you all on the other side. And like I said, have a blessed day. Everybody stay safe, and we will see you all tomorrow. I'm going to hand this over to Hank to take us on out of here. Take it away,
No
Hank.
humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.